Looks good. All right, welcome to Practical Shooting After Dark. My name's Ben. We're here to talk about shooting and shooting-related shit. On deck today, from the north, the Great White North, Mr. Burdett, say hello.
What's up, guys? Hello.
Canadian champion of all the things.
Well, that's what they say. Yeah.
And the 2006 Area 3 production champion, or whatever year that was.
C-class. Don't forget the C-class part.
No, you were champion of the whole area.
Yeah, I was.
Well, then you being in C-class is not relevant.
Okay, sorry. Yes, the Heat.
Mr. Joel Park.
Hi there.
Hey, I'm the 2012 Wisconsin Section Limited 10 champion.
I remember hearing that story.
I got that going for me. Real
Yes.
talk. All right, you guys know the rules. You come here, you bring some topics, a show and a tell, a thing that you talk about. This week in shooting, something you did, worked on, shot at, maybe even got shot at by, I don't know, something that went on in shooting. Trigger warning, something that triggers you. Maybe you had an unfortunate BOC encounter. You never do know. Can never tell. All right, Mr. Joel, what do you got? What's
Yes.
going on?
Show and tell.
Amazing.
So, yes, I've been trolling my friends with these brass base pads sold by the Pro Shop for Tanfolios. I got one to
I've
try
been
it
trolling
out.
my friends with them too, and my enemies. I'm trolling everyone.
Yes, yes. I got one to try out, messing around with it. Now I've got like a bunch of them that'll be here tomorrow, according to the tracking number. At first, I bought them just because, or I wanted that just because I thought it was a good way to troll my friends and drive them crazy. Now that I've actually used them, I actually like them. I like them a little bit better. The reason why, get the right angle for the camera.
All right,
If you
so
think of-
hold on.
Yep,
How are they different from a regular base pad, a regular Pro
they
Shop
are
pad?
2 ounces heavier.
Yeah. Amazing.
Like you know how much 2 ounces is because you're used to measuring drugs or something on a scale, right? That's how, like, for reference. No.
Yes, I am.
All right.
I
Whatever.
don't work in quantities that small, but yes.
Okay. So at first they were just a troll. The ones I played with them, I actually like them better. I like them because they're balanced better. So when you think about a magazine, like shooting production 10 rounds, here's the hole where the 10 rounds is. So from this part is where the ammo is. Well,
For
then the
the-
back part of the
Hold on.
magazine.
For the audio
Sorry.
rip listeners, Joel's holding up a magazine, and the first half of it would have bullets in it, and the
Yeah.
bottom half would have a
Air,
brass base
nothing.
pad.
Yeah. So then you'd have an empty tube, the rest of it with a spring, and then your aluminum, what people would normally use for base pad. So with using the brass one, I feel like it balances the weight a little bit better, and it feels a little bit better in the hand. So I like it, and it'd be a good way to troll my friends. The first night I got it, just banging away reloads with both of them, it didn't take me any adjusting whatsoever. I could like do sub-second reloads with either one just right out the gate. So it didn't require any extra training time, but I just like it a little bit better, and I'll drive my friends crazy at the same time. So it's a win-win.
Well, why do your friends get driven crazy by this? No, I should say, like when USPSA changed the rules for production to where you could, the rules essentially allowed brass base pads because now you can
Yeah.
play with your weight up to 4 ounces either direction.
Yes.
Those went from concept to design to prototype in 2.5 hours. And then I had a set in my hands a few hours after that. Because I was like, oh, this will be funny. Let's get brass base pads going on.
Yeah.
So
Like, the
why,
best part
why
is
do you
just-
reckon that would annoy people?
Why don't you tell me why you did it? How about we start there?
Oh, because as soon as you have it, like they are better in theory.
Uh-huh.
They're better in some way in theory. They're going to be expensive because brass is more expensive than aluminum.
This
And
is
so
true.
basically, now that I have those, everyone has to buy new base pads or they get to feel in some way inferior. It's
Yeah.
kind of like I have an iPhone 10, which is cool, I guess, but when the new phone comes out, or by the time people hear this, like the new $1,500 512 gigabyte phone is out, like I now have a lesser phone. It's now less good relative to what it could be. So
Yeah.
now I feel inferior in some way. So it's
Yeah.
annoying. So I did it to annoy people.
Yeah. So them seeing me and having them and looking down at their belt to realize they don't have them is just awesome. So
Yeah. No, it is. It's funny.
that's reason enough to own
And
them.
does it help like dropping the mag faster?
I suppose
Uh,
it would. I don't know. Sure.
Like-
Legit. If you have problems where like hitting the mag button and you barely tap it, or the mag gets stuck or something, I suppose it would help with that. But like I push the button really hard, so I haven't had a problem with magazines falling. But
But it's about knowing like special features that's why it's better,
yes,
the brass base pads. Faster reloads.
I agree with your assessment of them, by the way, Joel. Like I actually can mix them with aluminum base pads on my belt, and I can tell when I hit a brass one, but it's not like there's really much of an adjustment between them.
no training difference at
No,
all.
they're
But
the same.
I do like them better. So
Yeah, I mean, it makes more sense. It is balanced better. So
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's just sort of unnecessary.
yeah, a lot of shooting is unnecessary though, right?
Absolutely. It's great.
Want and need are the same thing.
Oh, I'm going to go now. So, speaking about unnecessary things, by the time you hear this, Practical Shooting Training Group will have launched. That's PSTG for short. It's this thing that Juansik and I have been working on for a while. Joel, you were one of the testers for this. Thank
Indeed.
you very much. We had about 30.
You told me I was the only tester.
I absolutely did not tell you that, but you were one of the more helpful testers, I should say. What Practical Shooting Training Group is? It is a thing that you can buy membership to, and it's a bunch of video content or not video content, like stuff that's organized inside of a private forum. So if you're interested in that, go to practicalshootingtraininggroup.com and you can get a membership. Now there's different tiers of it. You can buy the cheap one. What is that? $25 a month, I think. $25 a month if you buy a month at a time. It's cheaper if you buy a bunch at a time. You can see everything that's going on in there, see all the videos, read all the stuff, ask questions, whatever, that sort of stuff. How much content is in there, Joel? It's tough for me to keep
a
track
lot.
of it. Like
A
how
lot.
much?
I don't know. It took me a couple nights. Like I'm pretty invested in shooting, and I was trying to go through it all, and it took me a couple nights to see everything. And then it's nice that you have that little new icon like next
Yes.
to a new topic, because otherwise I was even having problems keeping up with what was being posted new and what was already there. So there's a lot of content to
I think
go through.
as of when we're recording this, I think there's about 80 videos ranging in length from a couple minutes to 37, 38 minutes, I think is the longest one that's in there now. It's everything from drills, like, hey, here's this drill. There'll be an explanation and usually a diagram and something, and then a video of either Juansik or I shooting the drill and explaining it. I've got a video that's a 35-ish minute talk through, I call it, of a section match I shot, the New Mexico section match. So it's every stage, first person video and third person video, and then I put it in an application called Coach's Eye where I talk through it, circling. I'm like John Madden, sitting there like circling crap on the screen and talking about it, highlighting things, and like, hey, this is what I'm doing here, and this is what this is about. And then at the end of that, it attaches match video it's unadulterated. It's just match video. It's that sort of stuff, everything in between. Your favorite content on there is the training content, I think, Joel?
By far, yes.
Yeah, so there's some stuff where we got a couple cameras on the ground where I was practicing, and there's a couple of them where Kim is just practicing and doing a drill or doing an exercise for a while. So it's not instructional content, it's you're watching an actual practice session, and it's not really fucked with. Like it's not edited, it's not made to look pretty it's not like just showing Instagram runs or anything. It's like an actual practice session. So that's what you liked about it, Joel, I think.
For sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's all that stuff. And then there's video reviews of other people shooting, which also goes into this Coach's Eye application and gets spit back out into that forum. So I think I covered everything, right, Joel? You're a tester.
I think so,
more.
yes.
Yeah, so that's all
Yeah.
the basic stuff that's in there.
And then dry fire and live fire, obviously. I think I don't know if you talked about
all
that or
sorts
not.
of drills. Yes, and there's more stuff coming. So about every week, we're going to add another interesting bit of content. Maybe a maintenance guide for your stock twos. I recorded some footage while I did a series of classes in Georgia recently. And like every day I build a stage or change a stage that I've already built. And I just got a first person video of every stage I shot for that week and recorded a talk through video of it using Coach's Eye. So it's like 15 minutes of me talking through these stages and all this bullshit. Hey, I was looking at this or watching out for this, that sort of thing. And then every week, another bit of content like that will go up in there, at least every week, probably more because Kim and I are pretty productive. So that's what it is. So if you like what we're doing here, like if you like the podcast, you want to support it. I mean, I don't have a Patreon. We don't do a whole lot of ads outside of Pro Shop shit. But if you like this podcast, if you enjoy it, you want to become a training group member, that would be much appreciated. If you want to pay a little bit more, I think it's an extra $15 a month, then you can put your own videos up in the training group and get a review. And the other thing I should point out is if you're a training group member, you're going to see the reviews that other people are getting, and hopefully you can benefit from them. So Joel, you've got one or two in there, I think.
Yeah, my little unsolicited testimonial for that is you asked me to send you a stage, and so I had like one that it wasn't necessarily a home run. I could pick out a couple of things, but I thought it was like pretty solid shooting for me. I felt like it was about my ability, and then you picked out a few things, and I'm like, oh, like it had never dawned on me to approach things differently, and so that was good. And then the same thing, you posting videos of other people, I watched that, and it helps me if I want to help somebody else, like I won't call it a coaching, but for me, helping other shooters, it gives me stuff to pick out, and then just stuff that I hadn't thought of. So
yeah, well,
I like it.
Definitely, yeah. So that's the goal, and that's what we're trying to do. So if you're a member, you're going to see all the reviews that other people are getting, and then there's a tier above that that's private coaching, where you're going to get a private section inside the training group where only you'll see it and the instructors. That's it. Which the instructors right now are me and Kim. So that is what Kim and I have been working on quite diligently for 6 or 8 weeks. And I'm really happy with how it's turned out. And it's going to be a really interesting platform for me to make the stuff that I've wanted to make for a long time, like match videos of this, or hey, this is what I think about this, or try this drill, that type of stuff. It's a way for me to do it and put it up inside of a private group. So I don't know. It won't be anybody. It'll be paid for one, and it will just be like people who are serious about shooting, and there won't be any like nonsense or fucking around in there. It's just for shooting. That's all it is.
If I could interject one of the go ahead. Sorry.
No, you please.
One of the point I liked was when normally if you're on a forum and I post some question or a video, like every one of their brothers is going to chime in with what they think. Whereas I like your forum is directed towards feedback directly with you or Kim first. So if I post something, before everyone starts speculating, one of you two gives your thoughts. It's like directly me and you where everyone else can see it. And then after that, if people have follow-up questions, they can ask. But it's not just everyone chiming in about the subject.
That is one of the rules. It's like
I like that very much.
Yeah, so you ask question, instructor answer first. That's the way it goes. So that is what's going on. If a membership for that sort of a thing does not sound interesting to you, but some of the things that I mentioned sound interesting, we're also selling videos on the outside of the site. So if you go to practicalshootingtraininggroup.com and click on purchase videos, you can buy a la carte some of the more interesting or popular videos. Like I've got a compilation of some of my favorite drills. Like New Mexico section talk through video. There's Kim has some videos up there too. So I would say it's the more interesting stuff, and it's not expensive. Like the 40-minute New Mexico section video is $5. Where you buy it, you could download it, put it on any device you want, do whatever the fuck you want with it. Aside from putting it on YouTube, that would annoy me. But you could buy it, you could do whatever you want with it, if you want. And if you see anything on there, if you're like listening to this podcast and you go to practicalshootingtraininggroup.com and you click on purchase videos and you see stuff there that you like, just know that if you're a member of that, you can see all of that stuff all of the time and watch it to your fucking heart's content. Okay? So that's my sales pitch for Practical Shooting Training Group. Mr. Birdie,
Yeah.
what do you
All
got
right.
going on?
So I got a thing to show for the people listening. It's a pair of shoes, but I've been wearing these all summer. It's the Salomon Speedlab S2. No, S-Lab Speed 2, whatever. They're just a really slim, light, new shoes that Salomon came up with this spring, I think. And I really like them. I used to wear the Speedcross regular shoes that everyone wears. I was looking for the Innovates because they're lighter, and I really like a shoe that is light, but also needs to be at least like some sort of waterproof and stuff, and has a good grip. And I couldn't find any Innovates in my near where I live that I could try on, and it's very specific. So saw these, and I got to try them on. They fit really snug. They fit awesome, and I love these. Like seriously, I've worn these all summer. They feel like you're just putting socks on, and yeah, they've been really good. And I think I ordered another pair. They're a little bit more expensive, but yeah, I like I'm a fancy shoe guy, so
What's the main
these are
complaint
all.
with the Solomons? That they don't last that long, would you say?
Yeah,
That's the main.
that's for sure.
How would you say the durability's been with those?
They wear kind of fast, but not as fast as the previous ones. But the big feature on these ones is that they're light. They're like as light as I would say some of the Innovates, and a little bit lighter than the Matla 300.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
these are lighter, and they've been really good on water resistant. My feet are always just fine, and they're grippy. They're really grippy, better than the Salomon. The Salomon Speedcross, they just feel like so clumsy. Uh, Now I just wear these now. But
Okay.
yeah, they're just. Anyways, I could be trying some Innovates later on. Just right now, that's what I wear, and
Yeah, it's
been
tough.
wearing these.
Everybody has a different opinion about what the shoe to get is.
Yeah, I mean, there's they're a little bit on the narrow side. So if you have like wide feet, uh, don't even try them on. You'll be disappointed. But my feet are just fine. So for me, it was just perfect.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah. Just
Appreciate your feedback, sir.
so
Okay. Let's go to a question. Ben, I need your help, as I'm so close to rage quitting practical shooting based on my frustration with training and performance. Is it possible to train subconscious shooting? What I mean by this is the ability to look at a specific target and have the body automatically move the gun and sights and pull the trigger without conscious effort or thought. I'm trying to completely overhaul my shooting so that instead of trying to go faster and be more accurate, all I'm going to do is focus on what I want to shoot and let the body take over everything else in the process. So what do you think? Is it possible to shoot entirely subconsciously?
well, isn't that the goal? I mean,
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, like yeah, definitely. And how do you think that?
Let me ask you this. I'll reverse it. So prepare yourself. Is it possible to shoot well consciously?
Too slow.
It is possible.
To shoot
I mean,
well,
to shoot well, I
consciously.
mean, you talk about practical shooting?
Yeah.
Okay, no, yeah, like Joel said,
I
it's
don't think
like
it's possible to shoot well consciously.
you're gonna fuck something up.
It's happening.
I mean,
There's too much stuff happening too
yeah,
fast. You
Yes.
cannot think your way through it.
yeah, it has to happen like subconsciously, just like you're driving.
Yeah, exactly. So the way training normally works is you focus on one piece and you think about one little piece of the larger picture. You think about one piece at a time as you're training, and you train that little bit. And over time, you hope to improve that little bit, and then eventually you train a different little bit. But when you're actually
Yeah.
shooting, you're not consciously really directing what's happening. Yeah.
No, of course not. I mean, you
Well,
can
you
think
say of
about
course
one
not, but
thing.
look at how this guy phrased the question.
Well, okay, yeah, well, so, I mean, he needs
So is
to
he?
take the time to train and do repetitions until they become subconscious. Just like when I try to relearn my grip or something for the next like 2-3 weeks when I'm gonna be dry firing, all I'm gonna be thinking is I'm gonna be consciously thinking about my grip, so I make sure it's fine, and then it kind of becomes subconscious at some point. You won't need to think about it. Just like gripping the gun hard, like some people they dry fire, they don't grip the gun hard as they would in live fire, and they just need to consciously think about gripping the gun hard until it becomes natural for them.
Yeah.
But that goes through conscious repetitions over time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It makes sense to me, yeah. So then, like, the prescription for this guy. So if this guy's super frustrated, like, hey, I'm just trying to shoot subconsciously. I'm really frustrated. Has he been shooting consciously this whole time? I mean, and trying to direct the action, you know? It's like
Mm-hmm.
that maybe that's what he's been doing wrong, and now trying to let it happen. Subconscious shooting is more about letting it happen than trying to make it happen or trying to direct specific things. So I would understand his frustration.
He made the comments about like thinking he was going to burn out and stuff like that. That makes me think he's trying too hard. And I did that for a while where I put all this effort into it and I wanted this to happen so bad. And I thought, man, if I just keep shooting all this ammo and spending all this time, like it's just going to come together. And I tried to force it instead of just letting it happen, kind of like what you're saying. So I think he needs to just, the subconscious stuff, as you get better, your technical skill gets better. Yes, it'll just start to come together, but it takes time. So I'd be more interested in knowing like how hard he's pushing, if he's taking breaks, what his training schedule. There's so many things that could tie into that. But if he's mentioning burnout, the first thing that comes to my mind is he's trying to force things. Because I already burned out of the sport once, just from like just expecting a result, pushing and expecting a result, and it just takes time to get there, I think.
Yeah, well, yes, of course. You need some seasoning. You need to go get your ass kicked for a while, which people don't like, but that's the way it is. It's
Just how it is.
It's very helpful. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it for the questions. Listeners, if you have a question you'd like the answer to, go to bensigger.com. Send me your question. We'd love to hear from you. You know, especially Joel. He's like super nice. The Ned Flanders of practical shooting. So nice. Jesus.
Yes.